So funny.
Yeah, interesting.
He's talking about war casualties among spectators.
Yes. Not even on the mat.
So was he saying that essentially? I believe what I heard there was that the Team USA from the back, all the wrestlers are going to come out and cheer, right? That's what I heard.
And incite violence, maybe.
Maybe.
And maybe incite violence. Yes.
Not too much.
Too much.
Hey, the Iranian fans are actually super nice, though. I don't know if you can hear. They cheer for Jordan Burroughs just as loud. Maybe not just as loud, but very loud, like he's Iranian.
Yeah. Now listen, I don't love Iran, but I miss some horns. Toot 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 Iran. Toot toot toot.
It is nice to have that back.
Or Iran. They say Iran. I missed it. Yeah. Nice to have it back.
All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, move on to but we're all feeling good about his chances in the finals, right? In a couple hours.
Let's see. Who did he leave? So he lost to the Iranian, lost to Ali Reza. I'm looking at his. He lost to Ravi Kumar 9-4 at the Europeans. Is that all the things that are on here for him? There's gotta be more. Oh, 2020. Yeah, he let's see. He took 7th at the Asians. Like I'm saying, jumps in performance that you don't necessarily see coming. Let's see, 2019. He took 30 U23, but he took 7th at Mateo Pelicone. Let's see, he lost to someone else from Iran. And at the World Cup, let's see how he did. He lost to the Armenian 11-2. He beat he beat Zach Sanders 4-3.
Well, Zach Sanders beat Thomas Gilman. Don't forget. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was wild.
Kozak has this guy. He had him ranked 18th before this. So. Little perspective for you there. 61. Dayton looked amazing the entire way through. Teched his way to the finals. Just all because he just is better.
He's so good. I was so impressed by his leg attack defense. I mean, Dayton was in a lot of trouble at the end of the first period there when the period ended. They did stop that first one where they gave that crap to, and then they kind of stopped it. I would have been interested to see how that scramble played out, but I have a hard time thinking it would have went well for Dayton because it's not like he was on a clean shot or anything. I think Dayton's path to victory against him is shut him down, counter offense type stuff, low scoring.
Yeah.
It's definitely. You got a clip.
Yeah, here is kind of just the highlights of the match if you're watching live.
Man, speaking of one-liners, Abaskazi Magomedov, he had one the day before.
Oh yeah, he would have had to not leave the mat.
They asked basically like through a translator, what are you going to have to do, or what are you willing to do to win this world final? And he said like a real short answer, and then the translator like looks at the camera. She's like, to die on the mat.
Really? We would have gotten a literal carcass cam.
Dang.
Yeah.
Hey, there's this little on my Zoom screen. There's a little thing on the left that's ticking down. Are we in trouble here? Okay,
we're good.
Tyler's on. Yeah. So I was so impressed with him. He's very good. Dayton looked great though. I mean, his leg into trap arm is as good as it gets. I mean, he rolled up them dudes with it. It was crazy.
If you guys don't know Zohair Alarak, who's from France, who coaches at Oklahoma State, you should. He's a good dude. He was on the Flow Zone call with us in the morning during Dayton's matches, and we were looking through Dayton's path, and it was like, okay, he could make the finals, but there's going to be some road bumps along the way. And that first Vangelov match, we asked Zoe what his prediction was, and he predicted Dayton to win that match 5-4.
Really? And then, he thought it was me that close.
Yeah, and then Dayton just like looked incredible, and Zoe at one point he's like, "Who is this boy?" Like he's just like, this guy's looking incredible. So, I mean, amazing. He's locked in, and when he got to his parterre offense, it was lights out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he was, man. It was so good on top. Wow.
For the record, Ben, maybe an outlier performance, one that history wouldn't have said would lead to this.
Who? For Dayton Fix?
Yeah.
Well, I don't make any. I mean,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know.
so obviously he kind of, I mean, he jumped up. So yeah, I'd be watching to see how he does in the future because he obviously made a huge jump at the World Team Trials in September. That was something where, again, we said, wow, I didn't see that one coming. And I think it's a situation where, am I frozen on the screen? What's it?
No, you're good.
Okay, a situation where I think for a long time, I was actually, what I was actually thinking while I was watching it is him bumping up to 41 this year because he looks so big and so powerful. And I think he's been holding himself for 57 for so long. I mean, we think about when was the first time he tried out for the team? I want to say it was either 2017 or 2018, right? Where he tried making the U.S. team at 57. And so obviously in 2017, he would have at least made it for the U23s also. But he's been holding himself down for 57 forever. And I kind of feel like, wow, maybe that negatively impacted his development for a little bit. And now that he's at 71, he just looked a little thicker, a little more powerful, a little better cardio, a little higher pace, like all of those things. And I was thinking about him at 41 this year, like, man, why doesn't he just kind of go up? Because then they could stick in Carter Young at 133. It kind of kills two birds with one stone. And, he's wrestling, 134 and a half here. And he's doing really well at the Worlds. Like, he'd be fine in competition at 141.
Yeah. Hey, there is a little issue. Yep, little issue with y'all's call-ins. You're gonna have to like recall in or something. I don't know. Tyler's working on it, but give you guys 30 seconds to figure it out. 65 kilograms. Yanni went 1-1. Really kind of unfortunate. He lost a tough one to Tavanian from Armenia in the round of 16, and then Tavanian did absolutely nothing in the quarterfinals and lost 2-1. It was a disgusting performance and effort from Tavanian's part. It was just, sad to see. I really thought Yanni was going to end the 65 kg medal drought for us, and, just, not his year. Larry Steele in the chat saying Cox got screwed horribly. We talked about it at the beginning, but no, he didn't. Our clock that we saw on the stream was different from the official clock in the arena. And the official clock in the arena clearly showed time was out before Gasimpour stepped out. No need to kind of rehash that one. We've already talked about it enough. 70 kilograms. James Green, 1-1 so far, but could get pulled back in. We're now rooting for Iramov, and he'll have Gadziev in the semis coming up here. Gadziev, the guy who kept J.O. from qualifying the weight for the Olympics at the last chance qualifier. Boring as hell, doesn't do anything.
You
You guys are back.
about that match is those guys were, talk about the weight class issue, but Gadziev was obviously at 65 and Bayramov was at 74, right? Because maybe this is their more ideal weight class, but one went up, one went down.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't hate I don't know about Dayton going all the way up to 141, but 61 looks like his weight.
Definitely looks like his weight, and it's gonna be really interesting to see what happens. Obviously, moving forward,
Zoe said he's going 61 kilos until he has to come back down in 2024.
Okay, because that doesn't have to be the best. Because it sucks that he can't just like stay at 61 kilos. That would probably be the best case scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
It looks that way.
Yeah.
All right.
Dang.
Should we
Okay,
talk
let's
date?
go. So I was really disappointed in Yanni. I know the guy's really good. That's another one where, like, his positioning wise, I feel like Yanni was wrestling a little too much from out in the open, and you're really gonna have to gas him out. I mean, that guy's position was just so good, and if you wear on him, then I think that's what's going to create the openings, as we've seen with a lot of other foreign guys whose specialty is not their conditioning. But that bracket was so competitive because then obviously Tavanyan had the really close match with, I don't know, the Mongolian, I don't know how to say his name. And then the Mongolian had the really close match where he lost at the end to
Shakayev from Russia.
Shakayev, right? So those are some really close matches there.
Yeah, Tavanyan's performance was disgusting in the quarterfinals against Ochir from Mongolia.
What do you mean? What do you mean by disgusting? They just didn't do
Did
much?
he take one shot? He took.
Yeah,
he did nothing.
That's why he doesn't like doing a lot. That's a bunch of these dudes, JD. They keep great position. They hold center. They're good defensively, and they just don't do much.
When you're losing, at some point you got to take a shot, though, and he still was just refusing.
Yeah, I really don't know what he was thinking at that point in time.
Yeah, Tavanyan is one of those guys where, like, you saw it with Yanni. Once he has a lead, and you have to open up and try to attack on him, then he's going to score more points, and it'll make him look like he's more offensive than he really is because he's got 5 points on the board. But like if he's trailing, he's got nothing. He doesn't like his whole strategy in the second period was like try to get Tumor Ochir called for like hands to the face or like finger locks. Like that was literally his strategy. He didn't touch a leg.
Funny, huh?
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Sad, but not sad. Kyle Dake winning gold at 74.
Well, we're scared. Okay, so we're going to Dake. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, 70 still has to play out. I mentioned it a little bit. James Green went 1-1.
Cool.
But Kyle Dake, fairly dominant. The finals was kind of close for, a good chunk of it, but it was Dake in the end. Sokozana made a little bit of a match, though.
Yeah, it was a little bit. I was kind of surprised when he got blown through. I guess not blown through might be a little bit of maybe it's too big of a word. But Sokozana hit some quick shots on him, and that's something we were able to see Kyle Dake shut down Jordan Burroughs. So the fact that Sokozana was able to get in clean twice was kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, and
Sokozana's good, man.
He is good.
Yeah, and one of the things with Sokozanov is you so rarely see a former Soviet or Russian beat a current Russian, which is what happened in the quarters there. That is really unique and rare, and we don't see that happen all that often.
For the record, Sidakov is not here.
That's true.
So that could play a slight role. But yeah, it is still very, very rare. But Kadi Metamegov refused to stop talking trash on Kyle Dake, and he even upped it a bit after this. Took to Instagram. He's standing with an assault rifle in one hand.
You gonna put the picture up?
And a bloody rabbit in the other hand, and it just says congratulations, and then tag Kyle Dake. I mean, he's been mentioning Dake in our Instagram mentions ever since the Olympics, basically, and in his mentions, but this kind of upped it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Gable did this morning, and I don't love it. And one of the things I was on Lex's podcast last week, and one of the things I said about wrestling that I really love is we have a world championships every year, and if you're the best in the world, you show up, and no one else claims that they're best. If they didn't show up to the world, they don't claim they're the best in the world. And obviously, we're in a very unique circumstance. But Gable posted on Zare's, or maybe it's not Zare's, but someone posted about Zare about being the king because he just won the world championship.
Well, he did the crown after he won.
Yeah, but listen, I love you, Gable. But if you are not going to wrestle, you can't claim you're the king anymore. You've given up your throne. I'm sorry. Same thing with this other dude. Listen, if you didn't show up, you don't get to claim it anymore. Okay? Show up next year, re-win, and then you're the king again. But we are having world championships right now, and if you're not there, you don't get to be the king. Sorry, you didn't participate.
And Kadi Magomedov didn't even win. He was silver. Other thing,
not to mention that.
The other thing about it,
well, for the record, he's not calling himself the king. He's just partying on Kyle Dake, who he did tag fall.
But yeah, one of the greatest things about the sport of wrestling is that we have this every single year, and we know who the best person is. And no one claims they are the best if they're not there, and that's one of the things that's really awesome about wrestling. Where I was comparing it to jiu-jitsu, and I don't know if you guys spend any time with Flow grappling, but they don't have a world championships where it's like ours, where everyone shows up at the same time, They have the IBJJF and they have the ADCC and they have these, where people are kind of all over the place. And even with MMA, you see that because there's different organizations. There's not a lot of crossover. With boxing, you see it because there's all these different sanctioning bodies. And for me, one of the things that I think is really special about wrestling is we don't really have people claiming they're the best if they're not there. Like, if they choose not to participate, no one recognizes their claim at being the best. And wrestling has this every single year, and we get to know who the best person is, and that is like such a really cool aspect of our sport that other combat sports don't really have. So I can't speak to judo because I don't know about that one, and there's no other good contact sports. So I mentioned all of them already.
I will say, if you're gonna play the heel, doing it with an assault rifle and a bloody rabbit,
he's cutting a promo. Wrestlers should cut more promos. I love this. I don't even care. I do care. I wish he was here, but I love the fact that he's talking smack. I think it's great.
He better show up next year.
He better, maybe he comes to Austin, does a card or something like that. That would be.
I'm in for that. Yeah,
that would be awesome. But also, to bring it back to like Gable and stuff, I don't know if I would pick Gable in a Zare matchup. Like
JD, now you're an Iranian. Like, you're just an American hater. This guy, get him out of the country. Get him out.
Hold on.
Zare beat the piss out of Geno, and it took Gable the craziest last-second comeback we've ever seen because it shouldn't have been allowed to happen comeback, and Zare just won handily.
Get JD out of here.
Hold on. I don't agree. I don't think I agree with JD that Gable wouldn't or couldn't win that match. But,
I didn't say he couldn't win. I said I don't know if I would pick him.
Sure, but I don't know if I agree about that. I think I would pick Gable. But even think about the Olympic preview when we didn't know what the bracket was going to look like. Think about, our man Kozak. Like when we said, who are you most concerned about with Gable?
Yeah.
It was Zare because of the underhook, because it's so unique, because of the guys that he's been able to beat with it. Listen, he is now 2-1 against Geno Petriashvili. He almost had him beat at the Olympics. So this is not like a crazy outlier performance from Zare. We need to see Gable Stevenson and Zare. We need to see it. Both these guys have knocked off the two legends in Geno and Taha, and they've never hit. Like, I want to see that match so bad. I hope Gable will just wrestle it somewhere at some point. Let's see it.
Let's go. This is Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan versus the Iron Sheik all over again. Vince McMahon in the middle of WrestleMania 2022.
No. I don't want this in WrestleMania. I want this on a wrestling mat with the big FloWrestling logo in the middle.
I know you want that. Sometimes you got to not be selfish a little bit here. Okay, we're not going to be selfish.
I don't want to see them wrestle a choreographed match.
Listen, I didn't say it had to be choreographed. I just said it was at WrestleMania, didn't I? I didn't say it had to be choreographed. I said, Vince McMahon, put this shit on the biggest platform we can in the middle of WrestleMania 2022. Zare versus Gable Stevenson. And listen, if they want to, then that can start the rivalry where they can then do whatever they want with WWE after. You know what? I'm gonna text Triple H and tell him to freaking do it. Zare versus Gable, WrestleMania 2022.
A freestyle match, a legit freestyle
wrestling match. Yes, that would be the biggest platform we can have. I'm gonna text him right now.
These two dudes, they're so young, they're so good. Zare wins. He tries to imitate the Gable celebration. It was a little bit pathetic, to be honest.
He kind of did the back handspring instead of the back flip.
Back handspring instead of the back flip Gable did, where he somehow continued to gain elevation for like the entire distance of the mat. But he's still right. He's making a point. It's a good point. Like, we don't know how that match would go. I really want to see it.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so which would you rather see? You get to see one in the next year and not the other. Dake Sidakov or Gable Zare?
Gable Zare.
100%. We're going to see Dake Sidakov at some point.
No, but I'm saying you get to see one. The other one you automatically never get to see.
Till the end of time?
Till the end of time in this hypothetical.
Till the end of time.
I think I still pick Dake Sidakov, but
man,
I don't think Gable will take this match unless there's a high monetary prize involved. There is no upside for him to take this match. He already has the Olympic gold medal, the WWE deal, like all to lose, nothing to gain, really, except money.
I just pitched it. It's WrestleMania 2022.
That's what makes me want to see that match more than Dake Sidakov, just because like I will get to watch more Dake. I'll get to watch more Sidakov. I'm gonna get to watch Zare for a long time, but I don't know when the next time is he's gonna wrestle somebody that's as good as Gable. Probably never in the rest of time. So I want to see that one. I want to see Zare and Gable probably more than Dake Sidakov.
Yeah. Me too. We need that one. Gable, I know you're listening. Please do it. All right. Do we want to get into Burrows? He's looking pretty similar to kind of the Burrows of old. Just kind of been the blast double's been working. In his match with Vliev, he used it a lot to get step outs, not necessarily finish, but he got a bunch of step outs, literally just putting his face through Valiev's face and then scoring. He had to get stitches again, but what's new for Burrows?
I would say it's more of a single leg than a double leg, where he shoots.
Well, he throws both hands, and then they feed him a hip, and then he goes to the single.
I feel like he never actually gets his hand on, so it's hard to want to call it double. I was except that one right there. Listen, his power from that position where and so I actually had Brian Snyder come into he came in, did a practice for us, and he showed us kind of the tactics that he's using down there. We had our guys working on it before Fargo. The amount of power he has there is pretty amazing.
I will say, like, the power that he had at World Team Trials was, I think, more than the power that he has here. We saw him suffer some kind of an injury at the end of the World Team Trials. Nothing's come out about that, but I think there is a difference. I think that's why he's shooting it this way, where he's not getting all the way to the double. And the one time he did run through Valiev, it was a timing thing where he saw Valiev look at the clock for a split second, and that was his opening, and boom, he ran through it. But I do think we're going to find out after this tournament some kind of injury status, I think we're going to find out. Like there
was something that Joey McKenna said when he was on. I don't know if you caught on to it. Joey McKenna, he was on with you, right, Bray? And he said, how the hell did he word it? He worded it in a way where it was like, okay, well, something's wrong with him, but they're not telling us. Something like, what the hell did he say? It was something about how he was getting ready, like to prepare to do the best that he can do. I can't remember how he said it, but it was something I'm like, oh, he's hurt for sure. I don't know what's wrong exactly, but it's definitely something there.
There's been some breadcrumbs in Burrow's interviews too, because he'll say things like, going through the birth of a child and all the other things that have been going on for me personally or whatever, and it's like, okay, he's not talking about like a tax issue or something. Like he's talking about his body.
A tax issue. Oh, that was good. It's good.
So I think we're gonna find out. I think he's gonna win tonight, and then we're gonna find out. He's gonna win tonight. Iran is gonna give Jordan Burroughs a bigger standing ovation than they gave any of their wrestlers from Iran. Yeah. And then he's gonna get on the camera, and then he's gonna tell us what happened. Bigger than Yazdani? Come on, son. Okay. All right. Second place. And by the way, that's a match I would love to see still. I would still love to see that match, by the way. Burroughs Yazdani. Man, we need that one.
Yes.
Do we want to get into the weeds on that one? I mean, it was pretty similar, just Yazdani was able to maintain for a full 6 minutes this time.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. So one of my wrestlers asked me yesterday, what does David got to do to beat Yazdani? And I said, well, listen, every other time the gas tank has been the key to victory. And if they're both fresh, Yazdani's just a little better because he's more powerful. I think he's definitely bigger and more powerful than David. And David's key to victory has been wearing him out. And obviously the most evident that was in match 1 when Yazdani kind of killed him for 2.5 minutes, and then David starts finding some paths to victory. And so now, we saw at the Olympics, obviously Yazdani respects David's skill level, and so he doesn't get any scrambles and he doesn't overextend himself. And he was able to maintain a lot, but you saw the fatigue creeping in at the end of the match. And in this one, you didn't really see maybe a tiny bit of fatigue, but not very much. And that was, so maybe a special vitamin regimen. You never know.
There was also
Go ahead, JD.
I was just gonna say that one time David Late got in on the single and was able to elevate it, and he kind of slipped a little bit. Now Yazdani did club him in the head, and he fell that way, but he fell harder than what I thought Yazdani clubbed him. So I think
we're talking on that slip. He overcommitted for that trip for sure.
Yeah.
If you want to watch it back, he commits to reaching his heel out there, which usually I feel like once you do that, you're kind of and his hip comes over his own foot, which is going to put you off balance. Because Yazdani had such good balance there, and now looking at it retrospectively, he should have just got the push out, went down 4-3, and kind of went from there. Obviously, I know the push out you would still need another 2, but you wouldn't put yourself in this, and then then after he falls, he has 15-20 seconds where Yazdani just to maintain the sprawl and the pressure, which is great for his gas tank. So I do want to watch that again real quick so we can see.
Yeah, sure. There it is. That's Dake.
Okay, I don't know. We don't have it. I guess. Oh, right here. Here you go, Taylor. No, this would be because it's after this.
Right there. Go ahead and play it right there.
Yes, right there. Go back a little bit.
There, Taylor to the single leg.
Okay. Yep. No, this is the double leg score, and it's the next one. He scores his double leg, and then after this is the single leg. I don't know.
This is the end.
Yeah, that's the end. So if you guys don't have it, it's fine. Anyways, I think he just kind of overextended himself on that trip, and I feel like maybe he felt like he really needed it. Now retrospectively, we can look and say, man, he probably should have just got a push out or something, and then maybe try diving at the ankle on the push out, and maybe you can snake a 2, because then you keep the pace going. You're not stuck underneath them for 20 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, tip of the cap to Yazdani, and if he loses from like here on out, now he's still like forever a legend.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
He really is so good. I have never seen anybody as good at getting to a hook and just running your feet to take ground.
Yeah, so much power.
He should, like, if there was, so like the shot sled, you get to a double and then you run the shot sled. If there was some machine with like a hook, so you could just do underhook, run, they would need to get Yazdani signed immediately, because that is what he does.
That's funny. Yeah,
the hook sled.
The hook sled. Yeah, I like that.
Well, I think the shot sled. I mean, we're giving them free advertising now, but whatever. It's got a little like, I don't know what you would call it, like an A-frame, so you could always dig an underhook in there and then just try dry. You have to be kind of a little bit lower, obviously, probably more ideal. But maybe you could put something on top of it where you could dig an underhook and then drive it. You'd have to make the mechanics of the machine a little different though, because otherwise you would lift it up, right? You need something to keep it down, so you just drive it forward.
Yeah. The women's side of things, Jenna Burkett surprised me. This German girl had not had very many great results in the past, and she kind of teched her. Kayla Miracle looks great, though, on the other hand.
Yeah. So what is the German girl, though, is in the semis against the India woman. What is her chance? What are her chances to make the finals there? Really bad otherwise.
Yeah, they're probably not great. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't even have picked her to beat Jenna. So.
Got it. Okay, Kayla's looking great, and Kayla actually has already beaten this girl twice, so that bodes well for us at that weight.
Kayla finally gonna bring home a medal.
Nice.
Those 2 matches were both at Pan Am's this year. It was like a small bracket, so they met in a pool and then they met in the finals. In the pool, I think she teched her, and then in the finals, I think it was like 6 or 8-0. So this Brazilian has had some success. I think she was 5th in the world at one point, but she hasn't recently been able to get to Kayla. I hadn't really been able to score on her. So I feel really good about Kayla's chances.
Got it.
And that's somebody that like we haven't had medals from in the past. So if you're thinking about the team race, this first day for our team was a day where like the points we were able to pick up here were going to be a little bit of a bonus.
Yeah.
So,
Also, Japan
good
lost in the
Kayla.
first round
Dude,
at this weight.
62.
Yes.
She almost got and then she almost got eliminated. Tiny Bukova was losing 6-4
Yeah.
in her quarterfinal match, and then she ended up like that. Ivanova, for whatever reason, tried like a very, very terrible head pinch and took herself to her back, and Tiny Bukova pinned her. So,
Tiny Bukova, it's a great name.
Hold me closer, Tiny Bukova.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Christian Piles just posted a picture of Yazdani just yanking the singlet, Sargouche style. You guys on Twitter?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that picture he just posted.
I'm going to show you this
Bring
photo.
that in here. Let's protest.
Yeah, I think Nomad tweeted it too.
Nomad
if you
tweeted,
want to
yes.
pull it up, Tyler.
Yeah, it was actually Nomad tweeted it, and then Christian quote tweeted. Are we gonna be done at 9:30 so as we can watch?
No, we got to wrap up a little early. We got to do some things here in the studio before
you go to the show.
Yeah, before semis, because we'll be flow zoning it up again. Colin Moore.
Flow zone.
Yeah, Colin Moore is gonna hop back on.
Oh, there you go.
As well, do some commentary, hang out with us. What's that?
Who's been your guys' favorite Flow Zone co-host?
Well, it's just been, I guess we had Sion too. Sion, Zoe, Joey, and now Colin.
Nice.
I mean, Zoe had so much insight because he wrestled that weight. Yeah, he wrestled that weight a lot, and also coaches Dayton. So that was cool. Sion, man, he's a loose cannon still.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great though.
There's that picture from Nomad.
Handful of singlet there.
Man, that is insane. Both sides of the strap, like just yeah.
Yeah, got it all.
But dude, Joey McKenna was an awesome co-host too. He's got ton of insight, well spoken. Everybody's been good.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. If you haven't been tuning in to Flow Zone, be sure to do that for the semis. I want to get to our bets before we get out of here. Ben,
I think
Ben literally cannot make out positive. I could still beat Bray.
I'm probably gonna lose all my $1,000, but you know what? I'm happy losing all my $1,000 because I put it on America. I love you guys. I support you guys. I'm a great patriot, not like that damn Comrade Raider.
So where are we sitting right now, JD? Total earnings. Did you have that?
Bro.
Yeah. So right now I am in the positive. Like excluding the ones that haven't filled out yet, I am in the positive with $381.22. I hit on Mega Madoff, the Kyle Dake under, which was close. He gave up 4 points. The line was 4.5. And Taylor not giving up, or finishing every opponent before the finals.
I should have bet that one. That was stupid. I didn't bet that. JD.
Yeah. That was a great line. Honestly, I set that line when I thought he had Nifonov in the semis, which is why it probably would have been. Definitely would have been different if I would have thought that. But
so
Bray
cheating.
And Bray hit really big on that, and I lost out on Solkazanov. That turned out to be a decent bet though, at plus 426. And he made it kind of close with Dake, made the finals, and I also lost on DT.
I lost on DT. I lost on Yanni. I lost on Jaden. Oh. I don't know why I didn't bet that David Taylor line. That was the jam right there.
Yeah.
I lost on Lemtadze and James Green, but otherwise I'm sitting pretty. JD, how much money do I have in my pocket?
I got no money.
You're at about 1,200, Bray, right now, with the chance for Team USA if they get 4 medals or 4 golds.
I told you guys what was going to happen. I was going to win a bunch of money early, and then I was going to start betting again on more stuff later. And he said, no, I can't do it. So I don't know, but right now I'm feeling pretty good on my 1,200 bones.
All right. Before we go,
I bet on Zare.
That was a good bet.
Paid off.
Before we go, Tyler, I want you to bring that one picture in that I put in the chat, and we'll end with that before we get up out of here. Hey, Ben, take a look at this. Kyle Snyder
Why?
getting a handful.
Why?
It's Photoshop.
That is not Photoshop. That is straight from Tony Rotundo.
Raider, that is Photoshopped.
Oh, that is Kadir, actually, not Tony. But that is Kyle Snyder. If you're just listening, Kyle Snyder getting a handful
Get this
of
man
Saj
out
Live
of
singlet.
America. Jade Bray, get rid of him. He's gone. Send him to Russia.
He's turned Kadir already. Man,
He's
this is
actually
not
gonna
good.
JD. We have an announcement. JD is actually he's going to move to Moscow and he's going to start FloWrestling Russia. Okay, say congratulations to JD.
Hey,
Actually,
maybe my whole ploy
we
here is
need
just to
that.
become a spy for the U.S., a secret spy for the U.S.
Hey, we
Let's
need-
send him. Ship him over.
We need Flow Russia. Let's get Flow Russia. Actually, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right.
let's do it.
Flow Russia coming your way. But before that, Flow Zone is coming your way for these semifinals. Medal matches will be after that. No Flow Zone for that because it's just the single mat. You don't need zone. Just tune in to the commentary. The chat's been going in the app. It's been amazing. Keep it locked in. Team USA still got a chance. Later.